I finally went to go see Sonic 3 after a few days after its release, and I just have to say that the movie is so good. Like I've talked about in my last video reviewing the first two Sonic movies, I love these movies. They're so fun to watch and it's hard to not have a great time watching them. And Sonic 3 is no exception. But before we start the review, I have to give a spoiler warning for Sonic 3. Since the movie is still relatively new, it's like a few months old now, but some people haven't watched it yet, and if that's one of you, this is your warning. Click out of it while you can, and now to the review. The first thing I want to start off with this review is the pacing of the movie, because in my last video I'll talk about the problem with the pacing in Sonic 2, and I feel like the movie was extended for the purpose of making the movie longer, which was very unnecessary. Sonic 2 is a little over like 2 hours long, and I expressed in my last video that I don't like how the time was filled with adding the Rachel's wedding subplot to make the movie longer. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Rachel. She's a crazy and wacky character and I love her for that. But cutting between Hawaii and Siberia was kind of annoying to see since it didn't really advance the plot into Sonic and Tails arrive to Hawaii. But that's not the case in this movie. The pacing is actually pretty good. Before I went to go see it, I checked how long the movie was, and when I saw it, it was almost 2 hours long. I kind of got worried because I thought it was going to be like another Sonic 2. It was going to be longer than it needed to be. I thought they were going to add some filler scenes that were going to fuck up the pace, and I thought it was going to be the case when Gun came to bring Team Sonic to Tokyo, and I thought they were going to go back and forth between Team Sonic and Tom and Maddie, show how bored they are without them, but they only show them when Team Sonic needed their help, which, yes, I wish Tom and Maddie were in the movie more because I like their characters, but the movie at its best when you follow Team Sonic. The closest thing I can compare this situation with is the problem with the monster movies have with their human characters. The most recent movie, Godzilla x Kong, was amazing because it mainly focused on the 300-foot monkey and lizard. Yes, it had human characters we follow, but they were just there when we needed them, which was a little bit, which was the best for the pace of the movie, which made the movie amazing, great even. Maybe I'll review it one day. We'll see about that. There wasn't a time throughout the movie that I was bored or uninterested in the story, which I applaud the movie for doing. Like, do I wish Shadow was shown in the movie a little bit more? Yeah, but we got to see plenty of him throughout the movie, especially that badass breakout scene in the beginning of the movie. Like Shadow, he just fucks up all the guards like nothing. Like, this establishes how badass Shadow is from the beginning, and I'm all for it. One of my favorite parts of the movie was when Shadow went back to the old lab where he was experimenting on and reliving his old past. This explains very well why Shadow is so angry at Gun, even though destroying the world is still taking it a bit too far.
My yard.
Wait.
All of you.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Seeing Mario treat Shadow like a normal person and becoming his best friend was such a nice scene that made us feel for him. Especially the scene where Mario takes Shadow to see the stars at night, where Mario tells Shadow that Earth is his home. The flashback scenes with Mario and Shadow are so adorable. Like, this scene is funny and adorable.
That's the cutest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
But Shadow isn't the only villain chosen in the movie. We also have the grandfather of Dr. Robotnik, Gerald Robotnik, which I love in this movie, and it's fun seeing Jim Carrey play Bo Robotnik because he does an amazing job doing so. I do have a small gripe with his character, which is that he was heavily marketed in the trailers, which I know is dumb and it has nothing to do with his actual character, but seeing the movie and how they build suspense on who the mysterious villain is did not work at all. Like, it wasn't a secret that Joe Robotnik was going to be in this movie and was going to be played by Jim Carrey also, so there was no real mystery when the movie heavily marketed the reveal way before the movie even released. Like I said before, in the grand scheme of things, it does not matter, but it did affect the beginning of the movie a little bit just for me. Like, just imagine if they didn't tell us that Joe Robotnik was going to be in this movie. There would have been such great suspense on who the secret villain was, and when they finally show him, it would have been amazing. I bet people would have been cheering in the movie theater. Well, it doesn't matter in the end of the day because I still love the character, and it allowed Jim Carrey to have the best scene of the movie when both Robotniks were sneaking into the gun headquarters to retrieve the other key for the super weapon. They had to pass through some lasers to get to the vault, and they had some suits that reflected the lasers, which allowed them to basically make a disco room, and they just danced to the vault, which is the funniest shit ever. Overall, like always, Jim Carrey's doing an amazing job, being the best part of the movie, which I praise him a lot for doing, but in the end of the movie, he blows up.
Stop! No! Oh god! Fuck!
I know Robotnik had a fake out dead scene in the last movie, but that one made a lot more sense on how he survived, but this one, he was in the middle of a fucking nuke exploding in outer space, so most likely he's dead, cause I don't know how he will survive this. Don't worry, we'll have him back for Sonic 4. He's too good to not have him in these movies. I mean, if Shadow survived, why wouldn't Robotnik survive too? Let's talk a little bit about Team Sonic because I don't feel like the movie focused on them too much, especially Knuckles and Tails. They were really neglected in this movie. Like, don't get me wrong, Knuckles and Tails were still a big part of the movie, but I just feel like they were pushed to the side, not as much as Tom and Maddie, but still enough that it caught my eye. Like, I didn't mind much that Knuckles didn't get enough screen time in this movie because in the last movie he had a lot of characterization and character development since he was the villain of the last movie, and plus he has his own show, which I highly recommend if you like this movie because Knuckles is such a fun show to watch, and even if they focus on weight a little bit too much for my liking, I still enjoy the show. But Tails doesn't have shit, especially in this movie. He's just there to be the smart tech guy. That's really it that I can think about. And the cute little creature too, because what else have we seen him like any characterization besides that one scene in the cabin in Siberia when they were trying to get the Master Emerald? Besides that scene, there's really been no characterization with Tails at all. Like, to be honest, he's kind of a bland character in these movies, which I kind of hope that in the fourth movie we get a little bit more characterization with him, some character development, maybe a little bit more origins of him, or we can get a show of him and maybe have a little bit of his origins when he was in his homeworld and like when he was little and he got bullied. But right now we just, that's all we really know about him, and to be honest, he's a character I'm kind of disappointed at because we don't have anything much on him, and I just wish we had something on him, some more characterization, something to make me feel about him. He's just, even though he's described as Sonic's best friend, they don't act towards each other like that, like they're the best friends. But hey, hopefully in the future we get more, but that's my only complaint about Tails for right now. Before I end this video, I want to talk about the climax of the movie because it has the actual best scene of the movie, because Sonic using the Master Emerald to go Super Saiyan and throw hands with Shadow was so epic. Especially when Shadow gets some of the power of the Master Emerald, he basically becomes a Super Saiyan 2, and we basically have a Dragon Ball fight between Sonic and Shadow, which had my monkey brain going wild, which I love. Eventually, Shadow gets his ass kicked by Sonic for talking trash to him for most of the fight, and Sonic almost kills Shadow actually, but rumors will taunt him in the beginning of the movie.
You didn't let your pain change who you are. In here.
He realizes he can't let anger change him now. After all he's gone through, he knows revenge isn't the answer and decides to spare Shadow. And Shadow's surprised by this and has a heart-to-heart moment with Sonic, which is similar to the heart-to-heart moment Sonic and Knuckles had in the last movie. And after they trauma dump on each other, this happens.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This movie is so fucking awesome, and I can't wait for the sequel to come out. These movies might have an average story, but I don't care. These are awesome and hilarious. Well, that's all I have to say for this movie because I'm like 2-3 months late on this review, but hey, better late than never. But either way, this movie has great action, has great moments, which is what makes this movie great compared to the other two. The other two are good movies, but this is an actual movie, which makes it so much greater that this is an actual movie. But either way, I have enough to say about this movie. Maybe if I review the fourth one, I might have review these movies. I'll think about it. Maybe if I'm better at analyzing stuff, I will. But for now, I'll give this movie, I'll give Sonic 3 a great 8 out of 10. Hopefully I'm faster on making these reviews because I have been lacking for the past year. But I'm gonna try. Hopefully, I promised that before, but I'm gonna try this time. Well, if you don't want to miss any of my videos, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can be notified of my next upload. And all that said, have a wonderful day and goodbye.